चैतन्या प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौरा भक्तवृंद हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपदा 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 जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा जय गुरुदेवा निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरे कृष्णा माताजी हरे कृष्णा everybody
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. It was very, very melodious. Thank you. Welcome all the devotees. Happy Damodar Kartika month to all of you. Today being first day, I request if...
Mataji, I'm here.
1 second, Mataji.
Okay,
Give me...
Mataji.
Archana, the moment the class is done, is it okay if you can sing the Damodar Ashtakam? Archana?
Mataji, you want me to sing Damodar Ashtakam?
Yes.
Yes, Mataji, by the end of the class.
End
Okay,
of the
Mataji.
class. Okay?
Yes,
please.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Next class onwards, Monday onwards, those who want to do show deep or show their darshan of their altar, they can just send me a message and we make them co-host and they can share the screen and everybody can be ready with the ghee lamp so that those who don't have the arrangement of the altar or they have not kept the altar as per Vaishnava, if they don't have photo or Maya Yashoda tied Krishna, so we can provide that and you can offer the ghee lamp and everybody can take a turn throughout this 30 days to sing Damodar Ashtakam. So with that note, okay. So we start. Yes, Uma Mataji, you can recite
Hare
the
Krishna Mataji.
Om Namo
Okay,
Bhagavate Vasudevaya.
Okay, Mataji. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Janmadhyasya yatonmayadiratah charteshvavighneswarat tene brahmarudaya adikavaye muhyanti yat surayah तेजो वारिमृदां यथा विनिमयो यत्र त्रिसर्गो मृषा धाम्ना स्वेन सदा निरस्तकुहकं सत्यं परं धीमहि धर्मप्रोचितकैतवोऽत्र परमो निर्मत्पराणां सतां वेद्यं वास्तवमत्र वस्तु शिवदं तापत्रयोन्मूलनम् श्रीमद्भागवते महामुनिकृते किं वा परैरीश्वरः सद्योरुद्यवरुध्यतेऽत्र कृतिभिः शुश्रूषुभिस्त्वक्षणात् निगमकल्पतरोर्गलितं फलं शुकमुखादमृतद्रवसंयुतं पिबत भागवतं रसमालयं मुहुरहो रसिका भुवि भावुकाः कृष्णार्पणमस्तु हरिः ओम्.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so very much. So everybody is getting inspired. So speaker for the day is Her Grace Sitarani Mataji. Thank you, Mataji, for taking up this. Happy Damodar Kartik month to you and to all of you. Over to you, Mataji.
Thank you, Mataji. Let us start with the opening prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namah. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Sri Guru and Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitamsha Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desha Dharine He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Krupa Sindhubhyevacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udiraye Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Ruttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Neshtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaaya Cha Nanda Gopakumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. So welcome all the devotees. Today is the most auspicious beginning. It was yesterday, but for our Bhagavatam class, it is from today. We are singing Damodar Ashtakam. Wish you all a very happy Kartik month. Hope you all have decided some extra activities, spiritual activities, just to come out of our regular comfort zone and do some extra loving activities towards Krishna consciousness. So all the best, all the good wishes for you to do all your spiritual activities with your full heart and dedication. With that note, let us start with today's session. So today we are going to complete the third chapter. The last 4 shlokas we have to take. So before we start with the shlokas, let us see what we have done in the chapter in short, and then we will go ahead. So is my slide visible?
Yes, Mataji, it is visible.
Okay, so this is like the last 4 shlokas. In fact, the previous one also, the 40th shloka, which we have already covered in the previous session. Starting from the 40th shloka till the end of the chapter gives the glorification of Srimad Bhagavatam, the importance of reading Srimad Bhagavatam, the importance of studying Srimad Bhagavatam, what is the correct way of studying Srimad Bhagavatam, from whom to study Srimad Bhagavatam, from whom to hear Shravanam, from whom to do that. All those things will be covered in these 4 shlokas. So till now in this third chapter, we have seen few very important things. All the points are very important. Like first of all, Suta Goswami is giving the description of the Lord's Purusha Avtaras. Okay, so there are Purusha Avtara, Manvantara Avtara, Leela Avtaras, and all those things. So first he gives the description of the Purusha Avtaras, and then he also gives us the descriptions of the Lord's Leela Avtaras. Some of the few very important Leela Avtaras is like the 14th avatar. Which is the 14th avatar of the Lord? Do you remember anything? You should specifically remember a few of these things which we should remember already.
Narsimha.
Yeah. So the Narsimha avatar is the 14th avatar. And then what is Ram avatar? Which one? It is the 18th avatar. And Balram and Sri Krishna avatar is the 19th and 20th avatar. So these are the few important avatars to be considered in our spiritual life regarding that. Then in the 20th shloka, in the previous session we must have seen, it comes to Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. That is the Paribhasha Sutra. That Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. It's amongst all the avatars, among all the Leela avatars, Purusha avatars and all, Suta Goswami tells that all these avatars are what? Plenary portions and part of the plenary portions. But who is the Supreme Person? So Krishnastu Bhagavan Swayam. So Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God. Therefore, our focus of worship should be towards Krishna and not towards any other avatars. Okay. And then it shows the progressing of the matter of our life from Brahman to Paramatma to Bhagwan. Those are the things which we covered in this chapter before text 40. And now what we are going to see in this shlokas is why the Bhagavatam is considered as so potent. Why? What is the importance of Bhagavatam in our life? Why do we say Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya? Why? What is the need to do that? Yeah. Why not any other scripture? Why not to read only? Why not only to hear something? Why not only to do the kirtan? Why do we say Nityam Bhagavata Seva? What is the potency of Srimad Bhagavatam? What is the power of Srimad Bhagavatam? That is what we are going to see in these 4 shlokas. So in the 40th shloka, we have already seen that the importance of book Bhagavad, that Suta Goswami narrates that Bhagavatam is non-different from Krishna. So Lord Sri Krishna is the person Bhagavat, and Lord Krishna's second rupa is the book Bhagavat. So the 2 types of Lord, 2 Bhagavatas, 2 Lord, the type of Lord to whom we can worship is the book Bhagavat and the person Bhagavat. So book Bhagavat, it is known as the literary incarnation of Sri Krishna, and person Bhagavat is the incarnation of Krishna, that is Vyasdev also. And the pure persons whose life is dedicated to his service, those are also called as person Bhagavat. So who is the best example of person Bhagavat in our day-to-day dealings? It is Srila Prabhupada. Yeah, Srila Prabhupada. Why he is so important? I think Prabhuji in the previous session, he also depicted this particular point. Why Srila Prabhupada has to be considered as the person Bhagavat. So a person who is an acharya. Who is an acharya? whatever he speaks, he himself is implying in his own life. That is the acharya. There are two things, achar and prachar. Prachar means we tell people, do this, do this, do this, don't do this, do it in this way, don't do it in this way. But we ourselves are not following it. Then that is only prachar. We are not ourselves following. But the person who follows the book, what is mentioned in Bhagavatam, he is following it in his life. How to do the bhakti before telling to others, he is following in his life. That person who does this is the acharya, and Srila Prabhupada was the acharya. And such people are very, 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 very rare to be found. Not all speakers, not me, never. I do just preaching. Out of that, I don't know how much I even really sincerely follow. But Prabhupada was not that like that. Prabhupada was he was the person Bhagavad. Okay, and also one more thing Prabhuji had mentioned in the previous session is that Prabhupada used to work hard at nights to complete the Bhagavatam, to complete the translation of Bhagavad Gita and then Bhagavatam and then CC also, Chaitanya Charitamrita. But how much time he dedicated? Maybe a few hours every night. And he was so much empowered that only within those 3 hours or 4 hours or 2 hours sometimes, he used to translate so many verses, and he used to give the commentaries on so many verses. But for us, forget about understanding those verses, even to read, even to go through those verses, even to read every line of Prabhupada's books, it is going to take us many, many years to happen, right? Now you can see already when we are discussing this Bhagavatam, we have started Srimad Bhagavatam from such a long time, but still we are still on the 3rd chapter. So it takes time to read, it takes time to assimilate, it takes time to even work it out, even to implement it in our life. It is a very long process. But Prabhupada, who was at his ages of 70s and 70 plus, he was writing the books at nights, getting up early, very early in the midnight and doing those things. So he was really very, very empowered soul, and that is why he has to be considered as the person Bhagavad. Okay. And then in that 40th shloka, which we have already covered, so I'm not going to read the shloka or the purport, but from Srila Prabhupada's purport, it is said that Srimad Bhagavatam should be worshipped as respectfully as we worship the Lord, because the Lord and Srimad Bhagavatam are not different. So it is blessings and benefits to personal contact of the Lord, personally serving the Lord, chanting the names of the Lord. The same benefit we will get, and the same blessings and the benefits we will get to carefully and patiently and scrutinizingly study Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, we have to give equal importance to performing all our other activities and giving some time to read Srimad Bhagavatam, to hear Srimad Bhagavatam, to study Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, at the end of the session, if time permits, I would like to, I have one slide made for just for our benefit, to know what is the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam and how we should study Srimad Bhagavatam. So if time permits, we will go for that also. Okay, so now let us start with our today's session. So today we are going to start from shloka number 41. So you may raise the hands to read the shloka and the purpose. One person to read the shloka and translation, and one devotee to read the purport. Sindhu Mataji, you have raised a hand from a long time.
Yes,
Yeah, please read, Mataji. No problem.
Shloka 41. Pranams Mataji. Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Tad idam grahayam asha shutam atmavatam varam sarva vedeti hashanam sharam samudritam. Translation: The Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sri Vyasadeva delivered it to his son, who is the most respected among the self-realized, after extracting the cream of all the Vedic literatures and histories of the universe. Purport, shall I continue, Mataji?
No, Mataji. Let us give chance to somebody else also.
Sure.
Yeah, thank you so much. Before just going to a translation, what is Sutta Goswami referring to? So that is why we just read the translation of the previous shloka also. So in the 40th shloka, he tells that this Srimad Bhagavatam is the literary incarnation of God. That is what we just now discussed. And it is compiled by Srila Vyasadeva, the incarnation of God. Now Srila Vyasadeva is the is also the incarnation of Lord Sri Krishna. It is meant for the ultimate good of all people, and it is all successful, all blissful, and all perfect. You cannot find any flaw in the Srimad Bhagavatam. That is what he told. That it is same as Lord Sri Krishna. It is not different from Krishna. Then now in this shloka he is telling that this Srimad Bhagavatam was delivered by Srila Vyasadeva to his son Srila Shukadeva Goswami. So in Bhagavad Gita also, Sri Krishna tells this at the beginning of the 4th chapter to Arjuna, that the importance of disciplic succession. Can somebody recollect the shloka?
Evam parampara
Evam
praptam,
Before that. What is the second one?
Before that, Imam Vishwashpate Yogam Proktavan
Aham avyayam
Adhyayam Vivashwan Manave Prahur.
Manur Ikshva Kave Abravit. So Lord Krishna had also told that many millions of years ago, I have given this knowledge to Vivaswan, sun god. Then Vivaswan gave it to Manu. Manu gave it to Ikshvaku. And then in the second shloka it says, Evam parampara praptam. So in parampara, that was delivered, the message of Bhagavad Gita, the message of the scriptures, it was delivered to the next generations. But due to some flaws, or because it was not transferred correctly, the chain disciplic succession got broken. And that is why again I am giving you this knowledge now, right? But this broke now, then the second chain, so many times actually Sri Krishna has told this knowledge. So we come into what? We come into Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. Srila Prabhupada comes into Brahma Madhva Gaudiya Sampradaya. So how do we reach there? How did we reach there? So if you have seen the first page of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, there is the list of Guru Shishya Parampara, the list of disciplic succession starting from Sri Krishna. In that it is mentioned, Sri Krishna gave it to Brahmaji, therefore Brahma. Then from Brahmaji it came to Narad Muni. From Narad Muni it came to Srila Vyasadeva. From Vyasadeva it was given to Shukadeva Goswami also and to Madhvacharya also. It is not that Vyasadeva spoke Bhagavatam only once to Shukadeva Goswami and now again I will not tell that. No, he had many disciples. So he gave the knowledge many times to many disciples. And that way, from Brahma we came to Madhva. And from that Madhvacharya, it came down to Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And from Chaitanya Mahaprabhu till Srila Prabhupada. And from Srila Prabhupada to the next generation of Acharyas. So that is how we are into the correct, authentic Guru Shishya Parampara. So here he says that this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, this knowledge of Bhagavatam was given by Srila Vyasadeva to his son, who is the most respected among the self-realized, after extracting the cream of all Vedic literatures and histories of the universe. Now there are 2 points over here. What is he saying? He is saying that Srimad Bhagavatam is the cream of all Vedic literatures and the history of all the universe. Why does he say that? Prabhupada has very nicely explained in this purport. So let us now read the purport. Again, we will give chance to two different devotees because the purport is big. Well, first paragraph by one devotee and the second paragraph by another devotee. Okay, so Shanmuga Priya Mataji, please read the first paragraph.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
Men with the poor fund of knowledge only accept the history of the world from the time of Buddha or since 600 BC. And prior to the period, all histories mentioned in the scripture are calculated by them to be only imaginary stories. That is not a fact. All the stories mentioned in the Puranas and Mahabharata, etc. are actual histories, not only of the planet, but also of billions of other planets within the universe. Sometimes the history of the planets behind this world appears to such men to be unbelievable, but they do not know that different planets are not equal in all respects, and that therefore some of the historical facts derived from other planets do not correspond with the experience of the planet. Considering the difficult situation of different planets and also time and circumstance, there is nothing wonderful in the stories of the Puranas, nor are they imaginary. We should always remember the maxim that one man food is another man's poison. We should not, therefore, reject the stories and histories of the Puranas as imaginary. The great rishis like Vyasa had no business putting some imaginary stories in their literatures. Hare Krishna
You know,
Mataji.
do you remember in our childhood, or even if some of you are still watching movies or something, if a movie related to Ramayana was published, released, or to Mahabharata was released, they used to say, this is a mythology. Yeah. So it's like, this is a comedy, this is a serious, horror movie, or this is mythology movie. What do you mean by mythology? Mythology means some imaginary thing. Some imaginary cast are created and some stories, imaginary stories made, and that is shown. But that is not mythology, that is actual history. So Prabhupada is mentioning here that many people are there who consider the history to be coming only from Buddha, Lord Buddha. Before that, they say whatever was happening or whatever was mentioned in the scriptures is all imaginary. That is not real. But no, Prabhupada says not only in this universe, the history of this universe, this planet, this earth, this universe, this entire Brahmanda, not only the stories of this universe are real, but there are so many unlimited Brahmandas are there, right? Unlimited universes are there. And all the stories are in those other Brahmandas are really very true. These are the real histories of those Brahmandas. Like, we say, now if we try to go and reach to sun planet, is it possible for us? No. Any plane which tries to go and reach up to the sun planet, it is going to melt. Yeah, it's so heat, it is so hot that nobody can reach the sun planet. But does it mean that nobody can go there? No. We should know that, we should understand that the sun planet also has its own residents. So there are the people who can reside there. They are having that particular type of body. They are having that particular type of, the surrounding where they can breathe, they can walk, they can do their activities. Maybe their culture, these things are more advanced than what we have. Right? It is similar like, can we go into the deep water and stay there forever? No, but there are some animals, some reptiles, some the aquatics which are still, which can stay below the water for many years. The same way, there are many jivas, many who can reside on the sun planet. Similarly, there are many different type of other jivas who can reside on the other planetary system altogether, other universes, other Brahmandas. So we should not deny the existence of other living beings. And because there are other living beings, they do have their own history. And all their history is related to Lord Sri Krishna. Everywhere, what Krishna says, Vedescha sarver aham eva vedya. In the Vedas, in all the Puranas, in all the scriptures, who is to be known? I am to be known. Who is the center point? I am the center point. Does he say that is only for this planet or this particular Brahmanda with four-headed Brahmaji? No. It is true for all the different universes, with maybe some universes having four-headed Brahmaji, some having two-headed Brahmaji, some having multiple-headed Brahmaji. So there are so many different universes with so many different types of jivas staying, and everybody's history is actually circled around Lord Sri Krishna. So we should not deny that. Therefore, in this translation, it is told that Vyasdev gave all this information. He transferred all these things through the scriptures to Shukdev Goswami, not only related to our Brahmanda, but related to all other Brahmandas also. Okay, let us read ahead. I think Deval Mataji is raised their hand. Yeah, in the Srimad Bhagavatam.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Mataji will stop after reading this yellow line so that I can talk about it. Then again we can go ahead.
Okay, Mataji.
Yeah.
In the Srimad Bhagavatam, historical facts selected from the histories of different planets have been depicted. It is therefore accepted by all the spiritual authorities as the Mahapurana. The special significance of these histories is that they are all connected with activities of the Lord in a different time and atmosphere. Srila Shukadeva Goswami is the topmost personality of all the self-realized souls, and he accepted this as a subject of studies from his father, Vyasadeva. Srila Vyasadeva is the great authority, and the subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam being so important, he delivered the message first to his great son, Srila Shukadeva Goswami. It is compared to the cream of the milk. Vedic literature is the milk ocean of knowledge. Cream or butter is the most palatable essence of milk. And so also is Srimad Bhagavatam, for it contains all palatable, instructive, and authentic versions of different activities of the Lord and his devotees. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So just like in the translation, it is said that it is the most after extracting the cream of all Vedic literatures. Yeah. So the cream of all, just like the cream on the milk is most palatable, or the butter which comes out is more palatable. Like that, this Srimad Bhagavatam is the cream, sara, is the summary of all the great literatures, all the Puranas, all the Itihasas and all, everything accumulated in one place is just as the malai, the cream we take out and we store in the one particular pot. Like that, this Srimad Bhagavatam is the cream, and that is why it is the most relishable. It is the most palatable. And what all does this Srimad Bhagavatam contain? It contains the stories of Sri Krishna, the pastimes of Lord Sri Krishna, the pastimes of his devotees, the prayers of his devotees, also even it contains the philosophy of who we are and how the Lord incarnates in different forms, and so many other things. That means this Srimad Bhagavatam is not only related to one direction, one part of knowledge, but it is a vast spread which accumulates all the different shastras and brings it together for our benefit. Therefore, this Srimad Bhagavatam is so important. Okay, yes, Mataji, please read ahead. There is no gain.
Hare Krishna, sorry. There is no gain, however, in accepting the message of Bhagavatam from the unbelievers, atheists, and professional reciters who make a trade of Bhagavatam for the layman. It was delivered to Srila Shukadeva Goswami, and he had nothing to do with the Bhagavata business. He did not have to maintain family expenses by such trade. Srimad Bhagavatam should therefore be received from the representative of Shukadeva, who must be in the renounced order of life, without family encumbrance. Milk is undoubtedly very good and nourishing, but when it is touched by the mouth of a snake, it is no longer nourishing, rather. It becomes a source of death. Similarly, those who are not strictly in the Vaishnava discipline should not make a business of this Bhagavatam and become a cause of spiritual death for so many hearers. In the Bhagavad Gita, the Lord says that the purpose of all the Vedas is to know him, that it is Lord Krishna, and Srimad Bhagavatam is Lord Krishna himself in the form of recorded knowledge. Therefore, it is a cream of all the Vedas, and it contains all historical facts of all times in relation with Sri Krishna. It is factually the essence of all histories. Hare Krishna, Mataji, Dhanvat Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. So, what is Bhagavatam? Bhagavatam is called as Vedanta Sutra. Veda Anta, the end of Vedas. What is the end? What do we give at the end? The zest of the entire Vedas. So, the purpose of all the entire Vedas, where Krishna says, Vedesya Sarve Ahameva Vedya, in the Bhagavad Gita, chapter 15. Okay, so that Srimad Bhagavatam is to be heard, is to be narrated. It should be narrated only for the purpose of giving knowledge, the purpose of making devotees, the purpose of sowing the seed of bhakti into the hearts of the hearer, in the hearts of the audience, not for making money. So there are so many professional reciters of Srimad Bhagavatam. They are perfect scholars of Sanskrit. They have topmost knowledge of all the Vedas. But what is missing? Missing is the seed of bhakti, which itself is not there in their heart. So that plant, that bhakti lata, that cannot grow in their heart also, and they cannot transfer it to the heart of other devotees. Therefore, Prabhupada here is actually guiding us, telling us not to hear from such people who are just reciting Srimad Bhagavatam. You know, Bhagavad Saptah for 7 days. There are so many people coming and they will charge some tickets for that. I do remember, I should not criticize anybody in such a way. I will not disclose the name of a very professional Bhagavatam reciter who wanted, in my native place, my father-in-law wanted to invite him for a Bhagavatam session of 7 days, Bhagavad Katha. And he said, if you can gather 500 people in the auditorium, then only I will come. So if you can sell 500 tickets, then only I will come. So ultimately they took the efforts and they were successful in bringing 500 people. But the zest of Bhagavatam was lost in that. The purpose of doing Bhagavad Katha was lost in that, because it was sheerly making money for maybe whatever business it was. But it was not for sowing the seeds of Bhagavatam into the hearts of the hearer. So that should not be our purpose. Our purpose should be completely to satisfy the Lord and to sow the seed of bhakti into the hearts of the audience. That should be our purpose. So yes, in this shloka we saw that, first shloka we saw that what is the important, Bhagavatam is non-different than Sri Krishna. And then in this shloka we saw that how Bhagavatam was told by Srila Vyasdev to Shukadev Goswami. Now the next link of the disciplic succession is in the 42nd shloka. Yes, last time I remember Krishnamurti Prabhuji had requested everybody to recite. So those who have not recited yet in the previous week, or those who are feeling shy to recite, those who are not regular reciters, I will request them to please raise hands and read with us today. Okay. Yes, Divya Mataji, you may recite the shloka as well as read the translation. Purport, somebody else can recite.
Satu samshravayamās maharajam parikshitam prayopavistam gangayam paritam paramarshibhihi. Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Sukadeva Goswami, the son of Vyasadeva, in his turn delivered the Bhagavatam to the great emperor Parikshit, who sat surrounded by sages on the bank of the Ganges, awaiting death without taking food or drink. Hare Krishna Mataji, Dandavat Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. So we know in general the history of Parikshit Maharaj. The detailed story of Parikshit Maharaj will come in the same canto in the further chapters, how he was cursed by a Brahmana boy. And he was waiting for his death to come. So he was having only 7 days, and he had to utilize that because he was the very great devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. We'll also see the story why he became the great devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. Many of us already know that because he had taken darshan of Krishna when he was already in the womb of his mother. A very small baby. At that time only he had got the darshan, and that's why he became a very pure devotee of Lord Sri Krishna. And therefore, when he was cursed, he decided not to waste any more moment of his life. He just got rid of his kingdom and everything. He gave it to his son, and he sat on the bank of the Ganges and ready to hear the glories, the stories, the pastimes, the everything about Lord Sri Krishna. Anything that he could hear about Sri Krishna, he was ready to sit and hear. So there, this Shukdev Goswami came, and then he narrated this Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj at the end of his life. Yeah, please read the purport. Aditi Mataji, you can read.
Purport by Srila Prabhupada ki jai. All transcendental messages are received properly in the chain of disciplic succession. The disciplic succession is called parampara. Unless, therefore, Bhagavatam or any other Vedic literature are received through the parampara system, the reception of knowledge is not bona fide. Vyasdeva delivered the message of Sukdev Goswami, and from Sukdev Goswami, Suta Goswami received the message. One should therefore receive the message of Bhagavatam from Suta Goswami or from the representative, and not from any irrelevant interpreter.
Yeah, please wait, Mataji. So 2 points over here. First of all, Srila Prabhupada is telling that we should hear it in the Guru Shishya Parampara from the bona fide chain of disciplic succession. Otherwise, it is a waste. Just like a very simple example to be done, a doctor's son. If he observes his father for many years, how he is operating on a patient, and he decides to operate on that patient, he is not authorized to do that. Right? He may have known how to do it, but he cannot be called as a doctor. Similarly, when we are gaining knowledge from a person who does not come in the disciplic succession, we may gain that knowledge, we may hear something, we may understand some of the things, but that is not an authentic knowledge. For the knowledge to be authentic, correct, as it is, because when it comes to the Guru Shishya Parampara, that knowledge is transferred as it is, without personal motivation, without personal interpretation. That way of knowledge, that knowledge is only the correct knowledge to be gained. So that will only happen if you are listening through a Guru Shishya Parampara. And the second thing, Srila Prabhupada says that, where is it? Yeah, he also says that Vyasdev delivered the message to Shukdev Goswami, and from Shukdev Goswami, Suta Goswami received. Now, actually, this shloka tells that Shukdev Goswami narrated this Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj. But yes, as we all know that because Suta Goswami was there when Parikshit Maharaj decided to only focus on the Krishna Katha, he went and sat on the banks of the Ganges. And there so many rishis, many rishis from all around the world gathered. Why? Because they knew that Parikshit Maharaj was a pure devotee and they were inquisitive to know what Parikshit Maharaj is going to do now at the end of his life, so that they can also understand how to utilize their life in the future. That at that place, Suta Goswami was also present. So when Shukadev Goswami narrated Srimad Bhagavatam to Parikshit Maharaj, Suta Goswami also sat there and he also listened to it. And how did he listen? That also we are going to read very nicely. It is explained by Srila Prabhupada. Let us go and read ahead. Yes, Mataji, next paragraph.
Emperor Parikshit received the information of his death in time, and he at once left the kingdom and family and sat down on the bank of the Ganges to fast till death. All great sages, rishis, philosophers, mystics, etc., went there due to his impersonal position. They offered many suggestions about his immediate duty, and at last it was settled that he would hear from Sukdev Goswami about Lord Krishna. Thus the Bhagavatam was spoken to him.
Next.
Sripada Shankaracharya, who preached Mayavad philosophy and stressed the impersonal feature of the absolute, also recommended that one must take shelter at the lotus feet of Lord Shri Krishna, for there is no hope of gain from debating. Indirectly, Sripada Shankaracharya admitted that what he had preached in the flowery grammatical interpretations of the Vedanta Sutra cannot help one at the time of death. At the critical hour of death, one must recite the name of Govinda. This is the recommendation of all great transcendentalists. Sukdev Goswami had long ago stated the same truth, that at the end one must remember Narayana. That is the essence of all spiritual activities. In pursuance of his eternal truth, Srimad Bhagavatam was heard by Emperor Parikshit, and it was recited by the able Sukdev Goswami. And both the speaker and the receiver of the message of Bhagavatam were duly delivered by the same medium. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So even Sripad Shankaracharya, though he was a preacher of Mayavad philosophy, that there is no personal form of the Lord, only impersonal Brahman. Lord is in the form of light, in the form of impersonal Brahman. And what is the aim of life? To merge into the impersonal Brahman. So it was not to actually propagate that kind of bhakti, but it was only for the atheist people to somehow or the other to believe in God and to bring them to bhakti. But ultimately he realized that though somebody is always focusing on the impersonal Brahman, meditating on the impersonal Brahman, but that is not going to help, not going to help to relieve him from the cycle of birth and death. For that, he needs to take Krishna's name, and then only he will be relieved from his material body and he can go back to Godhead. And therefore, at the last moment of his life, he created that very beautiful song, Bhaja Govindam. Bhaja Govindam, Bhaja Govindam, Govindam Bhaja Moodamate. So, oh Moodamate means, oh foolish people, don't go for this philosophy of Mayavada. come to bhakti, do Krishna bhakti, take Krishna's name. At the end of life, if you take Krishna's name, then only you will go back to Godhead. So he also is giving the message of Srimad Bhagavatam. So ultimately, the Srimad Shankaracharya also later propagated Srimad Bhagavatam as the correct way of understanding and worshipping Lord Sri Krishna. That is the gist of this shloka. Let us go to the next shloka. Yeah. Jigisha Mataji, you can read the
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna shloka and translation, Mataji.
Okay. Krishne Swadhamo Pagate Dharma Gnanadibhiha Saha Kalo Nastad Drasam Esha Puranarko Dhunodihta.
Translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. This Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun, and it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Krishna to his own abode, accompanied by religion, knowledge, etc. Persons who have lost their vision due to the dense darkness of ignorance in the age of Kali shall get light from this Purana. Hare
Yeah,
Krishna.
age of Kali, not Kali, it is Kali, means Kali Yuga. Yeah. Okay. So here, Suta Goswami now is referring to the 6th question of the Goswamis. The Shaunakadi rishis had asked him 6 questions in the first chapter we have seen. Out of that, the last question which they asked, I have just opened it here for us to. Can you see this now? Srimad Bhagavatam 1.1.23. ब्रूहि योगेश्वरे कृष्णे ब्रह्मण्ये धर्मवर्मणि स्वाम काष्ठाम अधुनूपेते धर्म कम शरणं गतः. So dharma kam sharanam gataha. After, since Sri Krishna, the absolute truth, the master of all mystic powers, has departed for his own abode, please tell us to whom the religious principles have now gone for shelter. Now, because Krishna is not there, Krishna has left this world, he has completed his avatar and he has gone back to his own abode. Now, whom should all these religious principles take shelter of? This was the question. This was the 6th question raised by the Shaunakadi rishis. And to that 6th question, Suta Goswami is now answering. So what is he saying? The Bhagavad Purana is as brilliant as the sun. And it has arisen just after the departure of Lord Sri Krishna. Right? Because Lord Krishna departed, then Parikshit Maharaj was cursed, and then Shukadeva Goswami narrated it to Parikshit Maharaj. So now this Srimad Bhagavatam has manifested, this Bhagavad Purana has manifested just like the sun, because just like the sun, it dissipates all the darkness. It relieves everybody from the darkness of it and brings us to light. Similarly, this Bhagavad Purana, because Krishna is not there to guide now personally, so Bhagavad Purana is none other than Krishna. It is narrated by Krishna himself. So therefore, Bhagavad Purana is as good as the sun, who will dissipate the darkness of our ignorance and bring us to the light of knowledge. That is what he is telling. Yes, let us read the purport. Who is going to read? No hands raised actually.
Mataji, I continue?
Just let me ask if somebody wants to read. Otherwise, maybe
May I,
Radha-
Mataji?
Krishna, Bhargavi Mataji, are you in this class? Bhargavi,
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
are you ready to read purport, Mataji?
Yes, yes, Prabhuji.
Please.
Hare
Please,
Krishna.
Mataji.
Purport. Lord Sri Krishna has his eternal dharma or abode, where
Dhama.
his
Not dharma, dham. Dhama means his place of living.
oh, okay, sorry, Mataji.
Yeah.
Lord Sri Krishna has his eternal dharma or abode, where he eternally enjoys himself with his eternal associates and paraphernalia. And his eternal abode is a manifestation of his internal energy, whereas the material world is a manifestation of his external energy. When he descends to the material world, he displays himself with all paraphernalia in his internal potency, which is called Atma Maya. In the Bhagavata, the Lord says that he descends by his own potency, Atma Maya, His form, name, fame, paraphernalia, abode, etc. are not therefore creations of matter. He descends to reclaim the fallen souls and to re-establish codes of religion which are directly enacted by him.
Yeah,
Except
please,
for God.
Mataji, 1 minute. Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So here Krishna, Srila Prabhupada is explaining that when the Lord descends from the spiritual world to this material world, why? Why does he descend? To uplift the people, to uplift the good people and to annihilate the bad people. So when he comes down, when he comes to this material world, he doesn't come alone. Yeah, we know, no? He told all his associates to first go and become all the gopas and gopis. Huh? So everybody came down. They took different forms of gopas and gopis. Then ultimately Krishna came. But then only does he come with all the people, all his friends and relatives? No, he comes even with his dharma. That is why when we say Vrindavan, so what is Vrindavan? Is Vrindavan just one small village or city in India? No, it is actually the abode of the Lord which he has brought with himself down. Therefore, that is why Vrindavan Dham is so important to us, because it is not a material place. It is just as Krishna himself came down, at the same time he brought Vrindavan Dham with him. He brought Gokul Dham with him. And that is why this Vrindavan, this is as important as the Vrindavan Dham in the spiritual world. Okay, so that is why we worship with so much love and affection and with so much respect also. Yeah. Yes, Mataji, please read.
Except for God, no one can establish the principles of religion. Either he or a suitable person empowered by him can dictate the codes of religion. Real religion means to know God, our relation with him, and our duties in relation with him, and to know ultimately our destination after leaving this material body.
So, the Lord Sri Krishna, he can establish the principles of religion, and who can propagate that ahead? Only his empowered devotees. So, like Srila Vyasadev is there, Narad Muni is there, Srila Prabhupada is there. So, the empowered people, empowered incarnations of the Lord, they can only again give this knowledge ahead in the disciplic succession. Therefore, they are so important, and they are very rare also. Yeah, Mataji, please read. The conditioned souls.
The conditioned souls who are entrapped by the material energy hardly know all these principles of life. Most of them are like animals, engaged in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. They are mostly engaged in sense-enjoyment under the pretension of religiosity, knowledge, or salvation. They are still more blind in the present age of quarrel or Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, the population is just a royal addition of the animals. They have nothing to do with the spiritual knowledge or godly religious life. They are so blind that they cannot see anything beyond the jurisdiction of the subtle mind, intelligence, or ego, but they are very much proud of their advancement in knowledge, science, and material property. They can risk their lives to become a dog or hog just after leaving the present body, for they have completely lost sight of ultimate aim of life. The personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, appeared before us just a little prior to the beginning of Kali Yuga, and he returned to his eternal home practically at the commencement of Kali Yuga. While he was present, he exhibited everything by his different activities. He spoke the Bhagavad Gita specifically and eradicated all pretentious principles of religiosity. And prior to his departure from this material world, he empowered Sri Vyasadeva through Narada to compile the messages of Srimad Bhagavatam, and thus both the Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are like torch bearers for the blind people of this age. In other words, if men in this age of Kali want to see the real light of life, they must take to these two books only, and their aim of life will be fulfilled. Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of Bhagavatam, and Srimad Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of life, Lord Sri Krishna personified. We must therefore accept Srimad Bhagavatam as a direct representation of Lord Krishna. One who can see Srimad Bhagavatam can also see Lord Sri Krishna in person. They are identical. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, thank you, Mataji. So this is the importance of Srimad Bhagavatam. Why do we say Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya? Because Srimad Bhagavatam is the direct representation of Lord Sri Krishna. And if men in this age of Kali want to, this yellow part I am reading, yeah, Thus, both Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam are like torch bearers for the blind people of this age. Yeah, we all are blind. Okay. In other words, if men in this age of Kali want to see the real light of life, they must take to these two books only, and their aim of life will be fulfilled. Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study, and Bhagavatam is the summum bonum of life. Law and so Bhagavad Gita, where it ends, what starts? Bhagavatam starts. Where Bhagavatam ends, what starts?
Chaitanya
Charitamrita starts.
Chaitanya Charitamrita. So just as you should know Bhagavad Gita before starting to read or understanding Bhagavatam, similarly, before reading Chaitanya Charitamrita, understanding the pastimes of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, we should be well versed, well known, well knowledgeable about Bhagavatam and the different pastimes of the Lord and his devotees. Then it will be the correct time to enter into the pastimes of Lord Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Okay, so that is why Nityam Bhagavata Seva, reading and hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is so very important. Okay, the last shloka for today, we'll just cover it very quickly. Who wants to read? Somebody had already raised the hand. Yeah, Ajay Prabhuji. Ajaya hai ki Ajay hai? Prabhuji Mata?
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhuji, please read.
Tatra kirtayato vipra viprasher tejasah aham chathyagamam tatra nevishtas tad anugrahat soham vahasri vaishyami yathadhitam yathamati.
Hari Bol. Very nicely recited, Prabhuji. Translation.
Translation by Srila Prabhupada ki Jai.
Jai.
O learned Brahmanas, when Shukadev Goswami recited Bhagavatam, there, in the presence of Emperor Parikshit, I heard him with rapt attention, and thus, by his mercy, I learned the Bhagavatam from that great and powerful sage. Now, I shall try to make him hear the very same thing as I learned it from him and as I have realized it.
Hari. Thank you, Prabhuji. So, who is speaking this? Srila Suta Goswami. He's telling, I was also present there, and therefore, whatever Shukdev Goswami told, narrated to Parikshit Maharaj, I also heard it. But how did he hear it? Very important word he's speaking here. I heard him with rapt attention. I'm sorry, my cursor is not, yeah. I heard it with rapt attention. So when we attend to Bhagavatam classes, maybe online or when we are in the temple or we are in some satsang, anywhere, what happens? Our focus of attention is there in the initial few minutes or initial few more minutes. Yeah, and ultimately then we get diverted. Then our mind goes somewhere else. Sometimes we are thinking of something else. Sometimes our phone is switched off. Some vibration will be there, and then we are forced to see what message is coming. Sometimes somebody from our side is speaking something, and we are listening to what the two people are talking, and we get totally distracted. So we say, yes, I went to the temple and I heard the Bhagavatam class and all that is okay. But did you really listen to it with rapt attention? Yeah, it is said that this our ear is the Yagya Kunda, Havan Kunda. And when you hear Krishna Katha, it goes into the ear. It's like putting ahuti to the Yagya Kunda, oblations to the Yagya Kunda. Then only that Yagya Kunda is accepting that oblations. Then only that the effect of the yagya will be completed. Then only we'll get the fruits of the yagya. So whatever is going in through our ears, if that is absorbed by our mind, then only we can say that I have really heard the Srimad Bhagavatam. So we should be very attentive whenever we are listening to the Srimad Bhagavatam class, or even when we are reading it ourselves. That time also we should be very, very attentive, and we should study it just like we used to study for our board exams, right? Like that, when we were students, we used to study for our boards. in the same way we should study the Srimad Bhagavatam also. Okay, purport. Sudha Mataji, you may read.
Hare Krishna Mataji. Purport by Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Jai.
One can certainly see directly the presence of Lord Sri Krishna in the pages of Bhagavatam if one has heard it from a self-realized great soul like Shukadeva Goswami. One cannot, however, learn Bhagavatam from a bogus hired reciter whose aim of life is to earn some money out of such recitation and employ the earning in sex indulgence. No one can learn Srimad Bhagavatam who is associated with persons engaged in sex life. That is the secret of learning Bhagavatam. Nor can one learn Bhagavatam from one who interprets the text by his mundane scholarship. One has to learn Bhagavatam from the representative of Shukadeva Goswami and no one else, if one at all wants to see Lord Krishna in the pages. That is the process and there is no alternative. Suta Goswami is a bona fide representative of Shukadeva Goswami because he wants to present the message which he received from the great learned Brahmana. Shukadeva Goswami presented Bhagavatam as he heard it from his great father, and so also Suta Goswami is presenting Bhagavatam as he had heard it from Shukadeva Goswami. Simple hearing is not all. One must realize the text with proper attention. The word Nivishta means that Suta Goswami drank the juice of Bhagavatam through his ears. That is the real process of receiving Bhagavatam. One should hear with rapt attention from the real person, and then he can at once realize the presence of Lord Krishna in every page. The secret of knowing Bhagavatam is mentioned here. No one can give rapt attention who is not pure in mind. No one can be pure in mind who is not pure in action. No one can be pure in action who is not pure in eating, sleeping, fearing, and mating. But somehow or other, if someone hears with rapt attention from the right person at the very beginning, one can assuredly see Lord Sri Krishna in person in the pages of Bhagavatam. Thus ends the Bhakti Vedanta purports of the first canto, third chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Krishna is the source of all incarnations. Hare Krishna. Thank you, Mother.
Mataji. So, yeah, simple hearing is not enough. We have to hear with rapt attention and absorb the messages of Srimad Bhagavatam. Many times it is observed, and I have the experience that if I am going, it's my personal experience, of course, that if I am going through some situation in the life, I have some doubt about any topic, anything, and if I open Srimad Bhagavatam, any canto, and I read through the purports of Srila Prabhupada, I surely get the answer to my questions. And this is my personal experience. I think many of us must have still got the same experience as well. So, yeah, that is the zest of reading Srimad Bhagavatam with rapt attention. So let us go back to our PPT for a small time. Yeah, so one very important statement I had just mentioned, I had just noted somewhere, I'm just reading it, that knowledge will come through reading. Okay, if you read it on your own, knowledge, you will get the knowledge. But realization will come only through association of person Bhagavata. Okay, reading and realizing, it's like theory and practical, is it not? So realizing you will only get only when you are reading it or hearing it or understanding it along with a pure Bhagavata. Therefore, association with the pure devotees is very, very important. That is must. Okay, so let us go to the next slide, which is a summary part of our session today. Yeah, summary, what we will learn from person Bhagavata to realize the text. Okay, so yeah, this is the thing. Knowledge will come through reading, but realization will come through association of pure devotees. First thing. Person, and this type of pure devotees who do not have their personal motivation, who do not interpret the text in the Bhagavata, Bhagavad Gita as it is, similarly Srimad Bhagavatam as it is, they are presenting it as it is, they are understanding it as it is, and they are sending it forward as it is. Such people are very rare. One of them is Srila Prabhupada. And how can we progress, or how can we understand Srimad Bhagavatam by associating with such pure devotees? By doing two things. First is serving such devotees. Who served pure devotees in the scriptures? Do we know the example? The example is of Narad Muni. In his previous birth, he was a small boy and he served the Bhagavata people who came, the various sadhus who came to his house during the 4 months of Chaturmasya. And that is how he realized he got the seed of bhakti sown into his heart. And in that same life, as a small child, he could see the Lord for a fraction of seconds. See how fortunate Narad Muni was. Yeah. So serving such Bhagavatas is one of the things. So whenever we get any chance to serve such Bhagavatas, if some brahmacharis are there, sannyasis are there, pure grihastha devotees who are very senior are there, if they come to our house, or we can invite them and we can in any matter serve them by feeding them prasad, by giving them some good nice gifts, by chatting with them, by associating with them for some time, asking them relevant questions and all. That is how we can serve them. And also second thing is hearing from them. So how to hear from them? Just like in the Bhagavatam class, we can hear from them. We can again ask them questions to our queries also, and to the different parts of Srimad Bhagavatam also. And that is how we can get the association of these pure Bhagavatas. And that is how we can learn the message of Srimad Bhagavatam, only if there is that faith is there, and if we are very attentive in that. Now, as a part of the summary of the entire Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya, why we should read Bhagavatam, what is there in Srimad Bhagavatam, why should we study Srimad Bhagavatam? There are many points why we should study. Because Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya we have to do. Why we have to do? First thing, because it is the cream of Vedic literatures. We just saw it, right? It is just like the cream on the milk. So all the zest, all the best part of all the scriptures is there in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, we need to study it very nicely. Again, it is coming from Krishna. It is coming in the Guru Shishya Parampara. Again, it is non-different from Krishna, right? Krishna, person Bhagavat and book Bhagavat are same. Okay, Lord Krishna and Bhagavatam are same. Again, benefit of associating with Krishna, because now we cannot get direct association of Lord Sri Krishna. Can we get? No, Krishna is not there. We cannot see in the dreams also. Krishna doesn't come many times. Yeah, if we think that okay, today I want to meet Krishna in my dreams, it's not that he will give us darshan in the dreams also, right? So in person we cannot see Krishna. In person we cannot associate with Krishna directly. Therefore, we can associate with Krishna through reading of Srimad Bhagavatam. Then all the religious principles have taken shelter to Srimad Bhagavatam. In the 43rd shloka we saw that it is like a sun. And all after departure of Lord Sri Krishna, all the religious principles have taken shelter of this Srimad Bhagavatam. That is why we should study Srimad Bhagavatam very scrutinizingly. It is as brilliant as this sun. Light for people in the age of Kali, torchlight. Yeah, we read that also, that because people in the age of Kali are very manda buddhis, manda sumanda matayor. Yeah, so therefore some light has to be there to show them the correct path. And who can show that correct path? It is just only Srimad Bhagavatam. Nashta prayeshu abhadreshu. What will happen? All the abhadra, all the amangala in our life, all the wrong things happening in our life will be eradicated if we are doing Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. Then, full of pastimes of the Lord. What does it have? Why do we read? Why do we go to satsang? Why do we go to the temple? Just to hear about the Lord. And so many pastimes of the Lord are there. The entire Bhagavatam is about the pastimes of the Lord only. Therefore, all the pastimes of Lord we can get into the Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, we should read it. And also, it teaches us how to pray. There are so many pure devotees. Prayers of Kunti Maharani, prayers of Bhishma Dev, prayers of Prahlad Maharaj, prayers of Dhruva Maharaj, prayers of Ambarish Maharaj. So many types of prayers are there in the Bhagavatam. So it teaches us how to pray, how to take shelter of the Lord. Sometimes we go in front in the temple, or at our home also, we go and stand in front of the altar. We fold our hands, we say our prayers, right? All the things, Sapta Kanchana Gaurangi, Radhe Vrindavaneshwari, all blankly we are saying, blindly we are saying, without any understanding. But what we should pray? What is the real value of going and standing in front of the Lord? what we should pray, how we should pray, what are the different types of prayers. Everything is mentioned in Srimad Bhagavatam. And it is also gives the examples of devotees, so many devotees. Just now I narrated the names of the devotees. So many examples of the devotees, how they worshipped, how they did their devotion in their life. All those things are mentioned in the Srimad Bhagavatam. Therefore, we should study by Srimad Bhagavatam very attentively and scrutinizingly. Okay, so hope this session helps to understand the importance of reading Srimad Bhagavatam daily and attending Srimad Bhagavatam classes daily with rapt attention. So if there are any suggestions, any questions, any queries, we are open for 2 minutes because we are already late and we have to go through Damodarashtakam also. So we'll stop here. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyeva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah. Ananta Koti Vaishnavrinda ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Archana Mataji, you can say.
Hare Krishna Mataji. I am a neophyte devotee and I am new to ISKCON and all that. So I am not, my deities are not that good as everybody's. When I purchase book from my temple, I get a photo from the temple. That is what I have laminated by myself using the OHP sheet and all that. And I made my own puja room. I just like to show my details.
Yes, sure, Mataji. I'll just pin you here.
Mataji, I am showing my deities, Mataji. I keep the flowers every day in the morning. So now it is a bit dull. Can you all see my deities, Mataji?
For me, it is very blur. I cannot see it correctly.
Mataji, you have blurred your background. You need to
Yeah,
unblur.
you should take out that blur background wala. Then you can see.
Just a minute, Mataji. I will. How do I do that from settings?
No, Mataji, from the video where it is there is a, you just have to click on that arrow on the video. There you get all the.
No, I'm not on my laptop, Mataji. I'm on my mobile.
Mataji, you should go to that more is there, na? More button in the down thing. If you click the, if you click the background effect, if you click, it will show you, Mataji. You can, you can remove the,
Now it is visible. Very nicely visible, Mataji. Hari.
Yeah.
Very beautiful.
Mataji, this when I go to satsang, this is the order they keep in my satsang. Same order I have kept. My Guru Maharaj and all that. Then we have all this and my Radha Govinda, which I got from my temple. Then this is my Damodar.
Hari.
Damodar, I light my lamp in the morning and evening. And I also have Tirupati and Krishna in my house.
So
this is my small puja room, which I made. This one.
Beautiful, Mataji.
Very beautiful.
Hare Krishna, Hari Bol.
Thank you. So I'm. Let me start singing Damodar Ashtakam. Namameshwaram Sachchidanandarupam Lasatkundalam Gokule Brajamanam Yashodabhiyolokaladavamanam Paramrishtamatyantato Dhritya Ruduntam Nihurnetra Yugmam Rijantam Karambojayukmena Shantakanetram Muhusvasakam Patririkakakanta Stitagraiva Damodaram Bhaktibaddham Ididrikshvalilabhiranantakunde Swagosham Nimajjantam Akyapayantam Tadiyesitagneshu bhaktirjitatvam Puna prematastam sada vritivande Varam deva moksham na mokshavadim va
न चन्यं वृणेऽहं वर्षादपिह इदं तेव पूर्णात् गोपालबालं सदा मे मनस्यावृष्ट वीरास्तां किमन्ये इदं ते मुगाम्बोजम् अत्यन्तनीले वृतं कुण्डलैः स्निग्धरक्तैश्च गोप्या मुकुस्कुम्भितं बिम्बरक्ताधरं मे मनस्या विरास्तामलं लक्षलाभै नमो देवदामोदरनन्त विष्णु प्रसीद प्रभो दुःखजलाब्धिमग्नम् कृपादृष्टिवृष्ट्यातिदीनं पतानु गृहाणीश मामज्ञयिताक्षि दृश्या कुबेरात्मजौ बद्धमूर्तैव यत्त्वत् त्वया मोचितौ भक्तिभजौ कृतौ च तथा प्रेम भक्तिं स्वकामे प्रयच्छ नमक्षे ग्रहो मेऽस्ति दामोदरे कर नमस्ते स्तु दाम्ने स्फुरदीप्तिदाम्ने त्वदीयोदरायात विश्वस्य दाम्ने नमो राधिकायै त्वदीय प्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् नमो राधिकायै त्वदीय प्रियायै नमो नन्तलीलाय देवाय तुभ्यम् हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण माताजी हरे कृष्ण एवरीबॉडी थैंक यू माताजी हरे
थैंक यू माताजी। श्री श्री दामोदर अष्टकम की जय। श्रीला
जय
प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय
Thank,
beautiful
Thank you.
thank you so much
thank you, Mataji. Thank you for Archana Mataji for
thank you
the
Archana.
darshan of your Lord. Hare Krishna.